Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Get in Position. Get in Position. I'm your host, Craig, with Tyrum Home Buyers. And Get in Position is a documentary-style webcast where our guests, it's all about them. It's all about them telling their stories, because everyone has a story, right? And they're telling their story about how they got in position and led them to what they're doing today. So don't forget to follow us on Facebook. Continue to follow us on Facebook. Also, go subscribe to our new YouTube channel at Tyrum Home Buyers. So we're going live on YouTube as well as Facebook Live. Also, next week we have the COO, the Chief Operating Officer of Fulton County, Georgia. Ms. Anna Roach will be joining us. She has an amazing story. So make sure you guys tune in to hear her story as well. But without further ado, folks, I have the honor of being a mentee of this gentleman. He's doing some amazing work, him and his staff out there in Union City. The Honorable, my friend, Mayor Vince Williams. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Well, hello, Craig. How are you?
I'm doing well, Mayor Vince Williams, my mentor. A long time ago, we served together as ministers together. And I tell you, Mayor Vince, you gave me some awesome advice one time. I'm not sure if you remember, but I'm going to refresh your memory.
Refresh it. I'm not 18 anymore, so I don't remember a whole lot.
And it was so simple and straightforward. It was the best advice that I've ever received in my life after being licensed as a minister. You looked at me. We were in the back room. You looked at me and you kind of went over your glasses like this and you said, "Now don't mess this up." Now you didn't use the word mess. But I received it.
Look, hey, and look, you know, the folks that are listening, please. Kirk Franklin doesn't have the rights to all of those other words. And I love Kirk Franklin, and I stand with him.
Me too. Me too, brother. Me too. Me too. Me too. But brother, it's so good to see you, man. As always tell you when we text, and I love you, man. And I appreciate you so much for saying yes. To
that
this.
was easy. That was easy to do. You know, when Craig reaches out, you know, you do say yes. You know, your spirit is so embracing that you know, it's easy to say yes, Craig. And I was glad I was available to be with you today. Have been looking forward to it, and certainly look forward to the discussion.
All right, awesome. So, hey, let's go on and get into it. So, the show is Get in Position, and Vince, you have a story, and I hope you can appreciate the music I was playing.
Well, let me tell you this. I was sitting backstage and the music playing. A lot of folks don't know that's my music. And when I say that's my music, I'm from Memphis.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of years with the Barcades.
Yeah.
I was signed to the Barcades as an entertainer for many, many years. A lot of folks don't know that. But as I told you earlier, a lot of stuff they won't know, it'll be in the book.
It'll be in the book. It'll be in the book. Yes. That's awesome. So
Ghost was an amazing song, yeah.
Yes, it was. I said I gotta dig something up, something that he can recognize. And I wanted to honor you, man, with that. So
well, awesome. I was just speaking to Larry. He wants everybody to call him Uncle Larry. I said, Larry, I'm too old to call you Uncle now. Anyway, I was just speaking with him about 2 weeks ago. It was his birthday, and he was having this week-long celebration and all of that. But yeah,
cool.
Fun memories. Yeah.
Cool. And for you young folks out there, go Google the Barcades.
Yeah.
The Barcades. So that's a little bit of music history. Memphis has a lot of it. It's a great city, beautiful city, man. Me and my wife went down there, man, and we had a ball, and I can't wait to get back. So now, I don't know of anyone who at a young age says, you know what, I want to be a mayor of a city. Start from anywhere. And how did you get yourself in position to be Mayor Vince Williams of Union City?
Well, I tell you, I'm going to jump here first. I remember as a child in grade school, I remember calling the mayor of Memphis at that time, and his name was Henry Loeb. I called the office, never expecting anyone would answer the phone, and certainly never expecting I would get a call back. And I really don't know why I called. I can't tell you that. I'm not 18 any longer, so I don't remember all of that. But I called the office, and the mayor answered the phone.
Wow.
And asked me my name and what was I calling for, and all of that, and I told him my name, and I wanted to know how heavy his job was. And he told me, he said, if you could give me your number, I'll call you, because we didn't have call ID back then.
Right.
Rotary dial and all of that, but he said, I'll call you back, I'm getting ready to go to a meeting, and I said, and I gave him my name and number and all of that, never thinking he would call me back, but he did. He called me back, and we had a very robust conversation about his duties and different things like that. And he said, he'd love to meet me in person, one day, but I remember making that phone call. But I tell you, my desire was never to be an elected officer, elected to nothing really. I had a great interest in music. Although, my degree is in political science. That's, I'm a political scientist by education, but also I minored in music, and that was my real thing that I thought that God wanted to put me on, because, like many kids coming up when I did, we were the in-house entertainment for guests. When people came over, I'll come in here and show them how to do the James Brown and sing this song. You know what I'm saying,
Right.
But certainly, as I continue to evolve, if you will, into adulthood, and I got started very young in the music industry, and that's where I thought I was going to be, So I was in the arena of music. In the genre of R&B and pop funk, if you will, at the time when it was, a lot of bands were coming on, and such as the Barcades and, Confunction and you name it, Brothers Johnson, all of those bands, and Shaka Khan and Rufus, all of those. And I was in a boy group, 4 members of us, and we were all vocalists, lead vocalists, but we also played instruments as well, And as I said earlier, I was signed to Unisound, which was the Barkays production company, and we had several albums ourselves, and we were on the road traveling with the Barkays and a lot of groups. I had the opportunity to work with a lot of individuals and work with some amazing people, but the music started changing, it started changing. And I said, I'm not about to take my clothes off for nobody, once it started changing, the disco came in and then it went and then other stuff started happening. And, we were adults at that time and, the music shift happened, so I was leaning on my education, thank God, and worked in a number of corporate settings. And then I moved from Memphis, to the Atlanta area, in the late 1990s, if you will. And anywhere that I have ever lived, I always wanted to be informed or at least be aware or immersed into what the local government officials were doing. Wasn't really concerned about state and federal, because a lot of folks don't understand local government is the government you need to know what's going on with, because you don't call the White House when your toilet don't flush. You don't call the White House when you can't turn the water on. You call your local official, your mayor or your city council. So those are the things that were important to me. You don't call, your state legislator about potholes in your community. So those are the things that matter to me. And that's where the real politics is. It's been said that all politics is local, and it truly is, so certainly that's what got me involved. But I got involved with my community's planning commission out of happenstance. Had no intent, didn't want to be involved, because one of the businesses that I operated when I was in Memphis, I created my own business niche, and that was managing and running campaigns for officials, that wanted to win. And my company assured them that they would win. And I had some great success with that, Craig. I ran senatorial campaigns, gubernatorial campaigns, congressional campaigns. Certainly the first mayor of Memphis was one of my very first campaigns, to be perfectly honest, the first Black mayor of Memphis, Mayor Willie Harrington. And he was a five-term mayor. And, people started seeing, okay, this guy is helping people really get elected, so that I did that for a number of years, and then started getting clients, who would reach out, because word of mouth was all we had, because you didn't have social media at that time. So word of mouth was getting out. Who did you use? Who helped you? And they would say, this guy named Vince Williams, he is fire. I'm just saying what they said, and he'll get you elected, but certainly I enjoyed that, but I saw the nastiness behind the scenes. And that I always said I will never run for office. But I tell you, when I moved to the Union City area, which was really, I had planned to move to Henry County. But it was a strange way that we moved to Union City. My wife is a military veteran, but she was deployed at the time. So my young daughter and I, we were looking for housing, and we were looking in the Henry County area because the church was in Henry County, as you know. And, we wanted to live close to the church, and we found a development that was, I thought was good for us. And someone told me that they had the same development in Union City. I said, oh, really? So we came to the development, and lo and behold, it was the same product, but the house was $30,000. The one that we were interested in was $30,000 cheaper. We moving to Union City.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yes. So, I've lived in Atlanta. I've lived in Riverdale, and certainly have enjoyed my time here in Union City. But we moved to Union City, and I got involved with the local government here. And I think the mayor at the time, because I reached out to the mayor and said, hey, I'd like to find out more about what's going on. And I think he thought I was interested in running against him, which I was not. I just wanted to know.
Wow.
I wanted to know what was going on. And I think what he did, I really think he really thought this, because, and I'm just prefacing that because he eventually told me he thought I was interested in running for mayor, which I was not. And what he did at the time, because neither one of us knew each other,
right?
He said, you got a lot of insight, and I think you would be good, with helping us with some things. He said, we have an opening on the planning commission. Would you like to be a part of that? I really didn't know what the planning commission was. You know what I'm saying? Mm. Yeah. So I told him, I said, look, I'll think about it. I was not interested at all, and, I told him, I said, I'd love to help you with your campaign, and during the campaign for his reelection, I decided to get more involved because I went to the planning commission meetings and saw, oh, okay, so these folks are really instrumental in how the layout of the city will be, and making some good decisions, and certainly some great recommendations, because as you know, the planning commission is a recommending body. Their decisions aren't final. The mayor and council finalizes those recommendations. So yeah. I did take him up on interviewing for the planning commission, and certainly the elected officials selected me, and I was on the commission for a number of years, and eventually became the vice chair and the chair of the planning commission during the 3 years that I was on that commission. And in year 3, decided to run for city council, and decided to run for city council. And there were 2 seats available, and I knew how to run a campaign.
Yes.
And certainly was excited about doing it, after much prayer and discussion with the family and friends, and certainly my pastor and church friends prayed about it and ran for the office. And that was my start right there.
Okay.
And certainly what took place over from 2007 to 2013, the mayor who had gotten elected in 1994, he was the first African-American mayor of Union City.
Wow.
And he told me the early part of 2013 that, he really shouldn't have ran the last cycle. He said, you should have run for mayor, and that's what he said to me. And 2 months later, he told me, he said, I can't do it anymore.
Wow.
He said, I'm going to step aside, and I said, well, what's going to happen to us?
Right. What's going on?
He said, well, hey, y'all got it, and at that time I was the mayor pro tem. So by state law, he resigned in May of 2013. I became the automatic mayor because of state law, being the vice mayor, if you will, already. Right. I became mayor. And for me to continue to be mayor, I had to run for the office, which the special election was scheduled for November of that year. So I had to resign my seat, which a lot of people said, you sure you want to do this? You suppose you don't win, I said, look, I prayed about this thing. If I don't win, I don't win, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to win because God is telling me to run. So I ran for the 4-year term, but I also had to run for the unexpired term. I ran for both seats that same year. So it afforded me the opportunity to use a slogan that a lot of people laugh at, and that is vote twice.
Right,
So
right.
people,
And see,
and people don't really understand
right,
that.
right. Because what we're watching right now is a video that our team put together for you
Yes.
back in
Yeah.
2013, year back then. And when you told me, to use that,
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't ask you any questions,
Yeah.
but I had the question in my mind, like, oh, Twice, wait a minute,
Yeah.
ain't that against the law? So, so
Yes, sir.
you're explaining you had both, like,
Both seats. I had to run for both seats.
you had to run for both seats.
For the
Gotcha.
unexpired term and also for the 4-year term as well. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So that worked for us. I did win both seats. Yeah.
Right,
And,
you did. You
yeah.
did.
And the following year, after I completed the unexpired term, went into 2014, starting my actual first full term as mayor.
Okay.
And my second term, I ran unopposed. Well, I had nobody to run against me. So I'm
Right.
preparing now for my third term and looking forward to that.
That is awesome, man. That is awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And I tell you, because it always confused me. I'm like,
Yeah.
how is he doing that? How is he asking people to vote twice? I'm like,
That's right. Yeah.
yeah, so that clears a lot of things up,
Yeah.
as far as that is concerned. So
That's a God thing. I mean,
it is. It is.
people laugh about when you say vote twice, because you hear it a lot of times. People say vote twice, vote often, I mean, but
Right.
you don't think nothing about it. But I actually needed people to vote twice,
Wow.
because easily somebody could have gotten in for that unexpired term and messed up everything before I came into office,
Oh wow, could have through it off.
Could have threw it off. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome, man. So you were already, by reaching out to the current mayor and then coming on the council of Union City, you were already in position, actually.
Yes, I was in position. Yes, sir.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And how let me ask you this, because we're really just shooting off the hip here. So how important is it? And Michael Harris, the Henry County Tax Commissioner,
I love him. Yeah.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
He kind of mentioned this when he was on. So Vince, tell us, how important is it for you to not only be in position, but to do a really great job? Because what I heard you say was your predecessor saw that you should have been the mayor. When he ran, he said, I shouldn't have ran, but it should have been you. So obviously he saw something in you that you should be here. How important is it? Because obviously you were doing some great things as mayor pro tem.
Yeah, I think it is the passion that one brings to the table. I have a passion for people. I always have. That's why entertainment was exciting to me. That's why ministry is so important to me. And what I do as mayor, as an elected official, it gets me in front of people, but also it affords me the opportunity to affect change in people's lives. And that's what we do as local elected leaders, is to make sure that people's everyday quality of life is better than what it was yesterday. So that's something that I look forward to doing each and every day, coming in, because no day is the same. Every day is different, so and also building relationships, to make sure you harness those things that you want to be able to succeed in for your citizenry. But that's so important, because people elect you to do their bidding, if you will. And you can easily elect someone to do a bad job. You elect individuals who are going to do an amazing job. So I pray about every decision that I make. Look, I'm not spooky about what I talk about, I do have individuals when they come in my presence, come to meet with me or have a discussion, and I said, look, let's take a moment to pray before we get started. I have some people who look at me with the side eye, but they, they go ahead and oblige, but they walk away saying, man, I feel better.
Mm.
So that's what it's all about. It's bringing authenticity to the office.
Awesome. And I tell you, man, you just said something there that it's a God thing. And I tell you that, even this particular program, this webcast is a God thing. And it never fails that every guest I have on, they kind of segue into some questions that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And my very first question was, what sets you apart from other mayors in other cities? And I think you just answered that. Mm-hmm. That you're led and guided by God's Spirit.
Look, let me tell you, every arena that I'm in as mayor, and there are a number of arenas, yeah.
Right. That's right.
People know I'm gonna come with God, so it's not about Vince, not at all. It's about the God in Vince. Mm-hmm. And I let people know, I don't take no for an answer. Mm-hmm. No can be just for the moment, but I'm coming back at you because I know God is not giving me the directive to ask for anything or to seek anything without knowing that he's going to deliver on his promise.
Gotcha. You also mentioned something, and let's talk to maybe someone who is considering running for an elected office of any city. So how you mentioned it previously, how important are strong relationships in your position?
Oh, they're very important. When you talk about economic development, community development, your finances, certainly your parks and recreation, having great relationships with individuals, from your leadership team to those people that provide grant opportunities, but also those people that you go into business with to create and build in your city. You got to have a relationship with the state, because the Georgia Department of Transportation, certainly the governor's office, and beyond. Relationships are key in what you do to provide opportunities for your citizens and the businesses in your community. You look at COVID-19 and what it has done to shut the nation down, to shut the world down. Mm-hmm. Had it not been for relationships, I just don't know where I would have been as it relates to being able to bring resources to my community. And relationships are key, and oftentimes, a lot of elected leaders feel like they don't need anybody or don't want anybody, I can do this by myself. That's a lie. It's a team sport, if you will, being an elected leader. So, working together with folks, but providing the opportunity to get to know them and they get to know you, that goes a long way.
That's awesome. Yeah. So let's talk about this this pandemic, this COVID-19 thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No one saw it coming.
Right.
No, I mean, totally blindsided the whole world.
Yeah.
Not just us in the US.
Right.
But when you stated early on in the beginning of this webcast, you said that local government is very important. Mm-hmm. And it should be important to its constituents and its residents, its citizens. How did COVID-19 affect you as mayor and Union City?
Well, I tell you, first, let me say this, almost a year ago. Yeah, it's been a year now that COVID has been in front of us. Mm-hmm. I was in Washington, D.C. at an annual National League of Cities conference, And we got the word that there's this thing, there's this big announcement coming out about the world getting ready to shut down. And we were made aware that it was COVID-19. I mean, we started elbow bumps and, standing back and using sanitizer and all of that, and then we found out that the pandemic was here. I flew back in on a Friday, I believe. It was a Friday. And then that following Monday, I got with the leadership team and we shut the city down until we got more guidance. Right. But through it all, I tell you, over the past few years, we had already started getting ourselves in position for a whole nother thing. We had started our administrative team to start working from home. It was mandatory work from home at least one day a week.
Wow.
So once we were in this COVID world, it was seamless for our team to be able to embrace working from home. It was nothing new. We had already positioned ourselves with all of the necessary tools for everybody to work from home. There were some things we needed to do for a mass work from home, which we were able to do that. But we had started positioning ourselves a little over 2 years ago for this technology that's in front of us. It wasn't about COVID. No, I did not know COVID was coming.
Right.
But it put us in a position to be able to, like I said earlier, seamlessly shift. Wow. As we all have had to shift.
Right.
But it has been quite interesting. Our city hall and all of our public spaces are still closed to the public. Okay. Still closed to the public. We have a streamlined staff that comes in to take care of, a lot of the finances, and certainly our police and fire department are still 24/7, and our public services department. But what COVID did to us as a small city, we are a population a little over 25,000, a little under 30,000. What it did for us, it put us in a category where it brought great detriment to us from a financial standpoint when you think about the very first CARES Act fund that went out. So I was on the forefront of making sure that cities were recognized. Now what took place during the first CARES Act, direct funding went to only 36 cities around this country. And because they met the criteria that was laid out in the Treasury guidelines, and that criteria, Craig, was your population had to be 500,000 or more.
Wow.
You only have 36 cities that met that criteria. What? So that means that 0.01% of cities receive funding.
Wow.
The city of Atlanta just barely met that criteria.
Wow.
At that time, Congressman John Lewis was bidding on Atlanta's behalf. However, there's no other city in Atlanta that meets that criteria. There are very few cities around the country. Like I said, there are 50 states in the U.S., only 36 cities. 36 cities receive direct funding. But the great thing is this next round, the American Rescue Plan Act. Every city, town, or village in this nation will get direct funding.
And is that the 1.9 trillion that Biden?
That is the Biden administration plan act. Yeah.
Okay.
The American Rescue Plan Act. Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you're giving us a feel of that previous administration and what they were about and what they were doing.
Yeah,
as to what we're getting now.
It's about the people, man. I tell folks all the time, look, I can work with King Kong if I have to. But, when we're talking about all of these things, it's not about your particular party. It's not about Democrat, Republican. It's not about black and white. It's not about your gender or non-gender or whatever the case may be. It's about people, so that's how I operate, because I'm concerned about all people. I don't just serve black people. I don't just serve women. I don't just serve children. I serve all people, you know, so I have to look out, you know, for the best interest of everyone.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
You know,
absolutely.
whether you voted for me or not, I'm still your mayor.
Right,
And
absolutely.
I'm going to act like I'm your mayor 100% of the time. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, and that's great. I just want to shift gears a little bit because I kind of proposed this to Michael Harris as well.
Commissioner Harris.
Yes, Commissioner Harris. Yes.
Ex-commissioner.
How important was it from your perspective for Georgia to go blue? I know we said it's not about parties or this, that, and the third.
Well,
but
and it's not.
Because all eyes were on Georgia.
All eyes were on Georgia, and I tell you, again, I believe in working across party lines. I mean, that's a must in what we all do. But it was very important for Georgia. Because I tell you, had Georgia not gone blue, had Georgia not gotten the 2 new senators,
right,
I wouldn't be sitting here waiting on over $7 million.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
It wouldn't have happened, and certainly those individuals that are getting the additional, and this is just individually, families that are getting the additional $1,400 stimulus, they wouldn't have been getting that.
Right. Right.
So it's very important, it's very important. But we have to remember, although we have gone blue, although we have 2 new Democratic senators, we still must remember we've all got to work together. We're in this thing together.
Yes, we are.
And I think we're headed in the right direction, Craig. But hey, we'll see where we go from here. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So tell us, because we only got a few more minutes here. Tell the viewers, because I mean, I don't think it can be stressed enough how important local government is.
Well, look, I tell you, and you and I kind of talked about it a little earlier, but local government is where we all live. We live in localities where local government truly matters.
Right.
And what I'm saying is, you don't call the governor's office, or you don't call your state, not your state, well, your state representatives, and you certainly don't call your congressional members or your senator in Washington, D.C., and you certainly don't call the White House when you can't flush your toilet, or when you can't turn the water on, or you got potholes, or the street light isn't working. You contact the mayor's office or your local council member. Local government is about your quality of life.
Wow.
Your quality of life is, parks and recreation, community development and economic development in your community, housing, street improvements, sidewalks, infrastructure, all of those things that make a community a community. Those are things that matter to us. That's why local elections are so very important. We put that on the back burner, and certainly, one of the things we've got to get out of the habit of is acting as if it doesn't matter who operates our local governments, because they do matter. Yeah,
they do. So what are some of the things that some of our viewers and individuals like myself can help do, bring more awareness? Because you're right. We go out to the polls when it's a presidential election, when it's a gubernatorial election. But it's like I was watching a comedian the other day, and he was saying the same thing. He was like, hey, I know who the president is, but who the heck is these other people?
That's right.
That's what we do when we get the ballot. So what are some things that we can do to bring more awareness about local?
I have to defend communities, because every city that I'm aware of, every county that I'm aware of, they have websites just like the federal leaders do.
Okay.
They have local websites, They certainly advertise when the meetings and all events take place. You know, I see people all the time at our, well, we haven't had events over the past year, but
Right.
anytime we have the Easter egg hunt, the music and arts events, anytime we got anything free going, you see people from everywhere. I mean, just a sea of people, but when it's time to elect leaders, people don't go to the polls. And when I'm talking about leaders, people in your local communities, and certainly it's important, that local leaders do invite the public to events, but also to educate them on, the power of community and the power of making sure that they are involved and engaged in, community events such as, the updating of the comprehensive plans and different things like that, because those are things that set your community on pace for the next 5, 10, 25 years.
Wow.
If you're not at the table, certainly you elect leaders that you hope and trust are going to do the right thing.
Right.
But that's not everyone. That's not everyone. But certainly local government is held to the same esteem as your state and federal leaders as well. We are under the same scrutiny as it relates to ethics and integrity and character. But I carry my integrity and character with me everywhere I go, because I am never going to do anything that's going to embarrass my God, my wife, my daughter, and certainly my family and friends.
Awesome. One last question. And I know, and you segue right into it. You and I have something very in common, that we were very, very close to our mother.
Yes.
To our mother. And I know a few years ago, you lost your mom. A few years ago, I lost mine. And as I live and get older, I'm constantly reminded from her spirit, about character, how to conduct yourself. What are some things that off the top of your head that you can say that you carry around with you close to your heart? It's something that your mother always taught you.
My mom always taught me, and I've said this in a number of settings, to always be respectful to anyone. It doesn't matter who it is, and it doesn't matter how mean they are to you. She says, always be respectful. Always say, yes, sir, no, sir. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Please, thank you. May I help you? Those are things that stick with me to this day. Those are things that I've taught my daughter. Certainly we've gotten away from that because I come into the presence of a lot of young people who are so, and I don't want to say it's no fault of their own, but a lot of parents aren't truly parenting their young people to understand how important respect in the workplace, but also in just private spaces are, and those are the things we really got to make sure we don't lose sight of. Respect would go a long way for you. I've had the opportunity over these past few years with my involvement in the state of Georgia. I've been appointed several times by 2 different governors to various committees. And, certainly as an elected leader and a member of the Georgia Municipal Association, I am currently the president of the Georgia Municipal Association, GMA, for a lot of folks who know who that is, which is the governing, the resource house for all 537 cities in the state of Georgia.
Wow.
I am the president of all those cities, but so I'm the first vice president of the National League of Cities, which is the resource house for over 19,000 cities, towns, and villages around the country. And I'm scheduled to go in as president this November.
Nice.
But that's should I get reelected, in my city, so with God's will, I will get a chance to be one of the first Georgians to have been president of the local municipal league, as well as the national league of cities as well. So we're excited about that. I will be the 5th president of the National League of Cities from the state of Georgia. So we're excited about that.
Nice.
When you think about it, this little fellow from Memphis, Tennessee, started out, with music hopes on his mind and on his heart, and now I'm in spaces that I never really intended to be in, but I'm excited about it, and I bring passion to it each and every day. And it certainly is rewarding, to my spirit and to my heart. Doesn't pay much, but hey, I didn't get in it for the pay, to be perfectly honest. Yeah.
Right. Well, Vince, listen, man, that was a great way to wrap things up. Awesome story. I can't wait for the book to come out.
Yes.
I want my signed copy. Also, congratulations to you on receiving the Trailblazer Award.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Congratulations. You deserved it. And listen, tell your queen we said hello.
I will.
Tell Nia, I'll see her on Instagram somewhere.
Yes,
But Vince, man, I love you, brother. Thank you so much. Drop some jewels. We'll run some clips of this on social media. And I just want the people to know and see this guy is not home. He's in his
working. I'm working, yeah.
He's working.
Yeah.
He on a Sunday evening, he's working.
Yes. That was a commitment I made to the public when I first ran for mayor, that I would be accessible, but I would also be working on their behalf. We have our annual State of the City address, which is going to be Tuesday, March 30th at 6 p.m. on all platforms. We tried to do it this past Tuesday, but God had another plan. So I'm excited about that. That way we get a chance to maybe include some things that we've discussed tonight, so I'm looking forward to that and hope the viewers will participate and certainly join in. I'm looking forward to that. But we're just excited. We're having a lot of fun. And I tell you, God has great things in store for us all. That's what I can say to you. But it's my pleasure being with you. I love you. There ain't nothing you can do about it. Y'all, I appreciate having the opportunity to spend this Sunday evening with you.
Thank you, sir. God bless you, and God bless Union City. We'll be seeing you, bro.
All right.
All right, sir. So, folks, listen. Oh man, that was just awesome. That was amazing. Listen, we will be showing some clips. We're going to edit some clips of some jewels he just dropped about local government and just being in position for certain things. So tune in next week, next Sunday, same time next Sunday, folks. We got the Chief Operating Officer of Fulton County, Mrs. Anna Roach, joining us next Sunday. She has an amazing story to tell and how she got in position to be a COO of Fulton County. But guys, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. And if you guys want to advertise on the show, give us a shout, give us an email, give us a call. But thank you guys, and make sure you get in position.